UFC 295 is this weekend. Jiri Prochazka is taking on Alex Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight belt. We're going to break down this fight. We're going to talk about the co-main event. I'm going to give you my picks on who I think is going to win and how the fight's going to play out. But before we do, please give this video a like, comment who you think is going to win, and subscribe for more content like this. Now let's get into it. In the main event, we have Jiri Prochazka taking on Alex Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight belt. This fight is so good and it's evenly matched up. You really don't know who's going to win this, and both fighters have a pro and a reason on why they can win, and they both have cons. Jiri Prochazka, this wild, dangerous fighter who just punches and kicks from every direction. He punches from every angle. You really don't know where he's going, what he's going to do. He's a fireball. And Alex Pereira, the technician, the kickboxer, the guy that got knocked out by Izzy and knocked out Sean Strickland, coming in off a great win against Jan Blachowicz. And he's just this mastermind at calf kicks and that left hook with power. You're getting both of these crazy strikers, and you really don't know how this fight's going to go. Now, if I had to break down this fight, I would say that Jiri probably won't grapple much because of his shoulder. I could be wrong. He is coming off a shoulder surgery and hasn't fought in 18 months. But I don't think Jiri Prochazka is going to take this to the ground. He said he is willing to, test the striking with Alex Pereira and see how good he is. But he doesn't think he's that good. And I feel like when Jiri needs to be, smart and keep his hands up and, blitz when he needs to blitz, he will be fine and he could win this. But I think if Jiri does what he always does in every fight, where, he has this wide stance and he keeps his hands down and he fires everything from the hip. So if you ever watch Jiri throw a uppercut or an overhand or even a hook, everything is generating from his hips, from his legs. So he's leaving his chin wide open. There's literally multiple moments in the Glover Teixeira and Jiri fight where Jiri goes like 20 to 30 seconds long without protecting his face, and he's just getting hit with shots. If Jiri does this against Alex Pereira, I don't think Jiri makes it out of round 1 or 2. But if Jiri is smart with the defense and the blocking, and he's able to blitz in and get out and still keep the crazy fundamentals of the wildness to him, he can win. I think Alex Pereira, though, the reason why he will win and why he's just a little bit better than Jiri is because, and especially in this fight, he's just a little bit more technical. When you watch Alex Pereira fight, his hands are up and they're out from him, right? When he fights, he's kind of like this, right? And I think if Jiri is trying to throw the looping punches or get around Alex or even go up, I think Alex is going to easily be able to defend the shots. He's going to be able to block, come up, and, stick and jab, move, and then throw that left hook. Jiri is wild and crazy, and that's what makes him great, right? He has 3 straight knockouts in the UFC. He has 100% takedown accuracy, which is, I think, that one against Glover, I think, or it was against Dominic Reyes, right? Jiri is a wild fighter. His ground game isn't terrible, but it's obviously like not amazing, right? His ground game is just as good as Alex Pereira's. I mean, their grappling statistics are actually very similar to each other. I think Jiri, he does have an 80-inch reach, but he doesn't have anything besides the wildness to beat Alex. I mean, he has a chin, but Jiri gets hit as much as he lands. Alex Pereira lands 5 significant strikes per minute and absorbs 3.70 strikes per minute. Like, he obviously has better defense in the striking department than Jiri. And I think this is where it's going to fall on Jiri. And either Jiri can drag this out to 5 rounds and make it a dirty fight, make it a dog fight against Alex and pull it off. But if Jiri leaves his chin open, which he always does, I do not see a path of victory in any way. I don't think Jiri is going to be able to take as many shots as he did against Glover as he can against Alex Pereira. I just don't see it happening. Alex Pereira, obviously, he's still very new into MMA. He's only had 8 professional fights. But the people he has defeated and beat and knocked out, you can kind of just tell, like, it might not be right now that he is cemented in the GOAT legacy or, like, in the Hall of Fame of UFC, but it will slowly happen. I mean, he has a win in the light heavyweight division over Jan Blachowicz, former champion. He has a knockout win over Israel Adesanya, former champion. Has a knockout win over Sean Strickland, champion. I mean, he's defeated 3 champions in the UFC already, and he's only, 6 fights into the UFC? Like, this is insane. And if he defeats Jiri, that is 4 champions that Alex Pereira has defeated in the UFC. You know? Jiri Prochazka did beat Teixeira, but for some reason, I just don't think that win was... I mean, he was losing that fight, and the fact that he had a striking battle against Glover Teixeira, who's obviously a ground specialist, is a little concerning. Why are you exchanging blows with Glover Teixeira, right, and getting hit as much as you are? Glover is not known for his striking. Obviously, his striking is good because of the grappling that is there, his jiu-jitsu, right? So you're going to be a little careful with engaging too much with Teixeira, so he's going to land some good shots on you. But Dominic Reyes, he's not really known to be a great striker. Like, he is somewhat a good striker. He can land good leg kicks and land good power shots, but he's just very athletic. And Ozdemir's known a little bit more as a better striker than he is grappler, but he's not Alex Pereira type striker. So I just don't see Jiri Prochazka really being able to do what he did against Teixeira, Dominic Reyes, or Ozdemir against Alex Pereira, right? I just don't see it. I think Alex Pereira will most likely just chop at Jiri Prochazka, which that's what you have to do, right? If you're Alex Pereira, you want to stop the movement of Jiri. How do you stop the movement of Jiri? You hit him with a lot of leg kicks, a lot of body kicks, keep him from moving side to side. That's why Jiri is so good. His footwork is amazing. His speed is undeniable. And he has, the striking at weird angles, right? He's throwing from the hips. He's moving here, throwing an uppercut. Moving here, overhand. Moving here, left hook. Like, he's very wild. He moves a lot. If you're Alex Pereira, you need to stop the movement. A lot of leg kicks, which you should expect in the first and second round. Just leg kick after leg kick after leg kick. Go for some body kicks. And then let Jiri make the mistakes. Alex doesn't need to, do anything extra to beat Jiri. I really think Jiri is going to expose himself, keeping his hands down, or he's going to move in way too close, and that left hand from Alex Pereira will be there. I'm predicting first, probably second round knockout by Alex Pereira. I think he's going to flatline Jiri Prochazka. I just don't think Jiri is going to be able to hide from the power of Alex Pereira. I just don't see it happening, and he does have a great chin, but I just don't think it's going to last long against someone like Alex Pereira. I think Jiri, he could last the first 2 rounds, but if it makes it to the 3rd round, it might start to go in his favor because of the grappling, but I just don't see it happening. I'm going with Alex Pereira. I think he is the more technical fighter. He's the smarter fighter in this exchange, and I think he will get it done. Now, co-main event. Same situation as the main event. Very close fight, evenly matched up, and you really don't know who's going to win. You have Sergei Pavlovich, who is undeniable. He is by far, to me, one of the cleanest strikers with the most power in this division. He might not block everything, which he absorbs a lot of strikes. He absorbs 4 significant strikes a minute, which isn't great, but it is heavyweight division. But wow, his jab is fast. He has insane power, and he's constantly looking for the finish, right? Sergei Pavlovich, his average fight time is, 2 minutes and 23 seconds, right? But he's facing another savage, which I arguably think if he had a full training camp, if Tom Aspinall had a full training camp against Sergei, I would choose Tom Aspinall. But that is why I'm not. Tom Aspinall, very athletic. Maybe the fastest heavyweight right now. He might be faster than Cyril Gane, who's undeniably fast. Tom Aspinall's average fight time, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. He has that great win over Tybura. He blew out his knee against Curtis Blades, beat Volkov, beat Spivak. I mean, Tom Aspinall is insane, right? He lands 7.65 significant strikes a minute and absorbs 2.9 significant strikes per minute. So his striking's not bad. But Tom Aspinall does this thing where he blitzes in a lot, kind of like a Jorge, but not as good defense, right? Tom Aspinall will do this thing where, especially on the takedown, and you see this against Volkov and the Tybura situation where he didn't get the takedown, but he was trying to go for it. He blitzes in, and his chin is wide open, and his hands are down. I think if you do that against Sergei Pavlovich, you're going to get cracked with the jab, and you're going to get pushed back, and then he's going to hit you with that overhand or a hook, right, and put you to sleep. I think Sergei Pavlovich should be the favorite, and he is at a minus. Sergei Pavlovich is a minus 102, and Tom Aspinall is a minus 118. So Tom Aspinall is actually the favorite. It's a pick'em, and Sergei Pavlovich is barely the underdog, but it's a pick'em pretty much. So either fighter can win. I'm going with Sergei Pavlovich. I think training camps really do matter. Sergei Pavlovich was supposed to be the backup behind John Jones and Stipe, and obviously that fight fell out, so he just went in as a replacement for the interim heavyweight belt against Tom Aspinall. I think Sergei Pavlovich, you're going to see what a training camp does for you. I think you're going to see, people keep saying like all Sergei's grappling defense isn't amazing, and I understand that. But he does have a 75% takedown defense. He did fight Overeem back in 2018, so I would expect his grappling defense to be a little bit better. But I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think it is for Tom Aspinall to get a hold of Sergei and take him down. I think if that does happen, Tom Aspinall will for sure win. If Tom Aspinall can take down Sergei, he will win. But I see this fight playing out with Tom Aspinall getting a little too close, and he's going to feel the jab of Sergei, and he's going to try and blitz in or clinch up, and I just don't think he's going to be able to get Sergei down. Sergei is going to be able to either outpower him or just get him off of him and just constantly feed him with a jab, and I don't think Tom Aspinall is going to be able to get away with it. Tom Aspinall is fast, he has great footwork, but I think his striking compared to Sergei's, there's a bit of a difference. I think Sergei is a little bit cleaner of a boxer. Tom Aspinall's striking is good because of his grappling, right? When you compare just striking wise, you would have to favor Sergei, right? It's obvious. He has the power, the speed. He's a little bit cleaner of a boxer. He doesn't protect himself as much, but I feel like because of his chin and the power he has, he's not really too fazed by that. And Tom Aspinall, it's more like, if you ever watch Tom Aspinall fight, he's like bouncing off a lot, right? And he's ready to blitz in, and I feel like Sergei, this is going to be like Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades, I feel like, where Tom Aspinall is going to shoot for the takedown or like try and get close, and Sergei is just going to crack him with either an uppercut or maybe stick him with a jab and then go for the kill. I don't see Tom Aspinall being able to, especially on like a 2 or 3 week notice of whatever he's having, being able to come in and just outbeat Sergei, right? I think to beat Sergei, you need to get in his face. You got to make it dirty, and you got to take him down. But I feel like since Sergei is coming out of fight camp, and, you know, his last 3 wins are so impressive over Curtis Blades knockout, Tai Tuivasa knockout, Derek Lewis knockout. I mean, first round finishes. I mean, he is destroying these people, right? And I obviously know Blades, Tuivasa, and Derek Lewis aren't the same as Tom Aspinall, but they're still heavyweights. I don't think Tom Aspinall is going to be able to get it done. I think he's going to try and blitz in. He's going to get cracked with some shots, and he's going to get sit down. I do think Tom Aspinall, I'm going to say this now, he will be a champion one day. I just don't think it's going to be right now. You know, he is still, you know, fairly young. He's only 30 years old. I think he will be a champion one day, but not against Sergei Pavlovich. I think, honestly, besides John Jones, Sergei Pavlovich is the second scariest heavyweight right now. If Tom Aspinall had a full training camp, I would favor Tom. But because this is short notice, I just don't think he's going to be able to be as conditioned compared to Sergei. Now, if this goes into the later rounds, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, you know, it could start to go in Tom Aspinall's way. But I think Sergei gets it done, and he wants to get it over with early so he doesn't have to deal with the grappling issues. But that's what I think is going to happen. I wouldn't overlook Sergei. I see a lot of people choosing Tom Aspinall, which is obviously a great pick. You really don't know who's going to win. It's MMA. Anything can happen. But I would favor Sergei Pavlovich because of the speed. The striking is a little bit better, and I feel like he will be able to find Tom's chin before grappling even becomes a threat. I think Tom Aspinall gets hit with enough shots where he realizes, I'm screwed. That's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I would like to see Tom Aspinall pull it off, especially on a very short notice, but I don't think not being in a training camp and having a real game plan against Sergei is going to help him a lot, you know? So I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm going Sergei Pavlovich. Those are my 2 picks for the main event co-main. Man, who knows what's going to happen? UFC 295 from the top to the bottom is stacked, but that is the breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video.